Peter Thiel, a name synonymous with Silicon Valley innovation and billion-dollar ventures, is one of the most iconic entrepreneurs of the modern age. His success story, however, isn't just about the companies he founded or the investments he made. There was one particular stock that would forever change his financial future and transform him into one of the wealthiest individuals in the world. That stock was none other than PayPal, the company that Peter co-founded and later sold to eBay for $1.5 billion. But to truly understand how a single stock made Peter Thiel a billionaire, we need to step back to the beginning of his journey. Let's rewind to the early 1990s when Peter was just a young law school graduate looking for his place in the world. Born in Frankfurt, Germany, and raised in the United States, Peter Thiel was a curious and ambitious individual from the start. He attended Stanford University, where he studied philosophy before going on to Stanford Law School. Despite his academic success, Peter never felt like law was his true calling. His real interests lay in technology, innovation, and disrupting the status quo, qualities that would later define his career. After law school, Peter could have easily followed a traditional path to becoming a lawyer, but instead he joined the world of venture capitalism. He was drawn to the idea of building new companies from scratch, much like a pioneer forging a new frontier. His journey would take him to places and people who would shape not only his own future but also the future of the entire tech industry. In 1998, Peter Thiel took a bold step that would ultimately change the course of his life. He co-founded Confinity, a company initially focused on building software security for handheld devices. However, the tech landscape was rapidly shifting, and Confinity soon pivoted to a completely different business model, a digital payment system that would eventually become PayPal. Little did Peter know this would be the catalyst for his rise to billionaire status. But the road to success was not without its challenges. Back in the late 1990s, the internet was still a relatively new frontier. Online payment systems were rare, and convincing people to trust a website with their money was a monumental task. But Peter, with his deep understanding of technology and a keen sense of market needs, saw the massive potential of digital payments. His vision was clear. He wanted to create a secure, reliable, and fast way for people to send and receive money online. Peter's experience with Confinity wasn't his first foray into the world of startups. In fact, he had already co-founded a company called PayPal in 1999, which was a result of his innovative mind and willingness to take risks. The company was born out of an idea of creating an online money transfer system that could revolutionize the way people exchange money. But like many entrepreneurs, Peter faced obstacles along the way. PayPal was not an overnight success. In fact, at one point, the company struggled to gain traction and was on the verge of being shut down. But Peter's unwavering belief in his vision and his ability to attract top-tier talent kept PayPal alive and growing. He assembled a team of brilliant minds, including Max Levchin and Elon Musk, who would go on to make their own marks in the tech world. Throughout the late 1990s and early 2000s, PayPal slowly but steadily began to gain traction. The company's breakthrough came when it partnered with eBay, a marketplace where millions of online transactions took place. PayPal became the preferred method of payment for eBay users, which helped the platform scale quickly. But what really set PayPal apart from its competitors was its ability to grow rapidly, its user-friendly interface, and the trust it earned from its customers. As PayPal continued to expand, so did Peter's fortune. The company's valuation soared, and before long, Peter Thiel had found himself sitting on a goldmine. By the early 2000s, PayPal had evolved from a fledgling startup to a major player in the e-commerce industry. However, the company was still far from a household name. While PayPal was gaining traction, it faced stiff competition from other online payment systems, including the likes of X.com, a company founded by Elon Musk. The competition was fierce, but Peter Thiel, always the strategist, believed that PayPal could outshine them all. In 2000, PayPal made a game-changing move. The company merged with X.com, and Peter Thiel became the CEO. Elon Musk, who had initially founded X.com, was pushed out of the CEO role after a series of internal conflicts. Peter's leadership skills and deep understanding of the market were key to PayPal's success at this crucial juncture. With Peter at the helm, PayPal's business model was refined and focused more narrowly on what the company did best, facilitating secure, fast, and easy online payments. The goal was clear: dominate the online payments market. Peter's vision was not just about creating a payment system, it was about building a platform that would become the lifeblood of the growing e-commerce ecosystem. One of the biggest challenges PayPal faced in those early years was convincing users to trust a digital payment system. At the time, internet fraud was rampant, and the idea of putting personal financial information online was a daunting prospect. To address this, Peter and his team focused relentlessly on building trust. PayPal implemented cutting-edge security measures such as encryption and fraud protection and made it clear that their users' financial safety was their top priority. The company's growth was initially slow, but as the internet boom of the late 1990s and early 2000s reached its peak, PayPal's user base began to explode. By the time 2002 rolled around, the company had millions of users and had secured partnerships with some of the biggest players in the e-commerce space, including eBay. PayPal was becoming the de facto payment system for online transactions, and its brand recognition was on the rise. In 2002, Peter Thiel's big break came. PayPal went public with its initial public offering (IPO), and the results were nothing short of extraordinary. The company's stock price soared and its market valuation skyrocketed. When eBay acquired PayPal for $1.5 billion in stock, Peter Thiel walked away with hundreds of millions of dollars. But this wasn't just a windfall, it was the culmination of years of hard work, vision, and strategy. As part of the acquisition deal, Peter received a large amount of eBay stock. At the time, eBay was a dominant force in the online auction space, and its stock was highly valued. With this acquisition, Peter Thiel's financial situation took a dramatic turn. He went from a successful entrepreneur to an overnight billionaire. But even though the wealth was undeniable, Peter's focus remained on his next big move. He was already thinking beyond PayPal and looking for new opportunities to grow his fortune and influence. The real kicker, however, was the decision Peter made regarding his PayPal stock. Instead of selling all of it, he chose to hold onto a significant portion. This decision would pay off handsomely over the years. As eBay's stock price continued to appreciate, Peter's ability to see the long-term potential of his holdings would ultimately lead to even greater financial rewards. But Peter Thiel wasn't content with merely being a billionaire. He had bigger plans, and the lessons learned from PayPal would serve as the foundation for his future ventures. He recognized that the key to building lasting wealth wasn't just about making money. It was about investing in disruptive technologies, companies, and ideas that could reshape entire industries. After PayPal's sale to eBay in 2002, Peter Thiel's life was forever changed. With hundreds of millions of dollars in his pocket, he was in a unique position to not only enjoy his newfound wealth but also make even bolder moves. Peter, however, wasn't interested in resting on his laurels. He had a larger vision in mind, and his next big venture would lay the groundwork for another massive fortune. In 2003, Peter Thiel co-founded Palantir Technologies, a company that would go on to revolutionize the field of data analytics. The idea for Palantir came from Peter's fascination with how data could be used to solve complex problems, especially in fields like national security and counterterrorism. He saw an opportunity to create software that would help organizations make sense of vast amounts of data, identify patterns, and uncover hidden insights, something that was becoming increasingly important in the post-9/11 world. Palantir's primary focus was on government contracts, specifically in defense and intelligence. Peter believed that the U.S. government's existing systems for analyzing data were outdated and inefficient. He saw a huge market for cutting-edge software that could process large volumes of data quickly and accurately, especially in the fight against terrorism and other national security threats. The company's early days were challenging. Palantir's mission was incredibly ambitious, and getting the first big clients was no easy feat. The company had to convince skeptical government agencies that they needed to trust a relatively new and untested tech company with their sensitive data. But Peter's reputation as the co-founder of PayPal helped open some doors, and the company's advanced software quickly proved its worth. Palantir's breakthrough moment came when the company secured its first major government contract. The software allowed intelligence agencies to track terrorist activities, predict potential threats, and uncover connections between individuals and organizations that were previously impossible to identify. The company's data analysis capabilities were groundbreaking, and soon, Palantir became a go-to solution for government agencies around the world. The company's success was also propelled by its ability to adapt to the changing landscape of data and technology. Palantir's software became increasingly sophisticated, expanding beyond just national security and defense to include industries such as healthcare, finance, and law enforcement. Peter's vision of using data to drive decision-making in multiple sectors had come to life. Palantir was a different kind of company than PayPal. While PayPal had revolutionized online payments, Palantir was focused on using data to solve some of the world's most pressing problems. However, there were some common threads between the two companies. Both were disruptive, both had visionary founders, and both had the potential to change industries. And, just like with PayPal, Peter Thiel was positioned to make a significant amount of money. In 2013, Palantir went public, though it didn't take the traditional route of an IPO. Instead, the company chose to remain privately held and only traded shares in a secondary market. This decision was in line with Peter's belief that companies should maintain control and not be swayed by the pressures of Wall Street. Despite this, Palantir's success in the market was undeniable. The company's valuation surged, and by 2020, it was estimated to be worth over $20 billion. For Peter Thiel, Palantir was not just a financial success. It was a company that embodied his larger vision of using technology to tackle global problems. But even as Palantir grew into a multi-billion-dollar company, Peter's appetite for risk and innovation didn't diminish. He was always looking for the next big thing, the next groundbreaking technology, and the next way to disrupt industries. And it was with this mindset that Peter would continue to make his mark on the world of investing and venture capitalism. As Palantir continued to thrive, Peter Thiel's wealth and influence grew, but so did his reputation as one of Silicon Valley's most forward-thinking investors. While Palantir was an exceptional success, Peter didn't stop there. He quickly became known for his keen eye for identifying startups with massive growth potential. His investments were often in unconventional sectors and companies that others were hesitant to invest in, ventures that could either make or break his career. Peter's journey as an investor began long before Palantir's IPO. Even as PayPal was climbing to new heights, he was already making strategic investments in a variety of companies. One of his most notable early investments was in Facebook. In 2004, when Facebook was just a small startup struggling to get its footing, Peter saw the immense potential in Mark Zuckerberg's vision. Facebook was already showing promise, but it was still operating out of a dorm room and had just a handful of users. Peter, however, was one of the very first people to recognize the company's potential. He saw that social media was the next big wave and that Facebook had the right combination of technology, talent, and timing to dominate the industry. Despite Facebook's limited user base and unproven business model at the time, Peter made a bold decision to invest $500,000 for a 10.2% stake in the company. That $500,000 investment would later be worth billions of dollars, and it was just one of many investments that helped cement Peter's status as a tech investment powerhouse. The Facebook deal is often cited as one of the most successful early-stage investments in Silicon Valley's history, but it wasn't just luck, it was Peter's deep understanding of the internet's potential to change the way we communicate, interact, and consume information. But Facebook wasn't Peter's only successful investment. Over the years, he made early-stage investments in companies like LinkedIn, Yelp, and Spotify, each one of which would go on to become industry leaders. What set Peter apart from other investors was his ability to identify companies that weren't just good but had the potential to change the world. He wasn't just looking for companies with great products, he was searching for companies with visionary founders and disruptive ideas. As Thiel Capital, Peter's personal investment firm, expanded, so did his portfolio. The company invested in a wide range of tech startups, from artificial intelligence to biotechnology. Peter was not just a passive investor, but an active one, working closely with founders and helping shape the direction of their companies. His experience as an entrepreneur gave him unique insights into what it took to build a successful business, and he used that knowledge to mentor and guide the startups he invested in. One of the key principles that guided Peter's investment strategy was his belief in the concept of 0 to 1, the idea that the greatest returns come from companies that create entirely new markets, rather than those that simply compete in existing ones. This concept was the foundation of his book 0 to 1, Notes on Startups, or How to Build the Future, which became a must-read for entrepreneurs and investors alike. Peter's approach to investing was not about chasing trends or jumping on the latest bandwagon. He was looking for companies that had the potential to create entirely new industries, disrupt existing ones, and make a lasting impact on society. And time and again, he proved to be right. As companies like Facebook, LinkedIn, and Spotify grew, so did the value of Peter's investments. By the time these companies went public, he had already built a fortune that made him one of the wealthiest people in the world. However, Peter's wealth was not just measured by his financial holdings. His influence in Silicon Valley and beyond was growing, and he became known as one of the most outspoken and influential voices in the tech world. His political views, unconventional thinking, and willingness to speak his mind often attracted attention, both positive and negative. But one thing was clear: Peter Thiel was no longer just an investor or entrepreneur. He had become a force to be reckoned with. As we've seen, Peter Thiel's rise to billionaire status was not a product of luck or coincidence. It was the result of a unique combination of vision, calculated risk-taking, and the ability to identify the next big thing. From his groundbreaking work with PayPal to his successful investments in Facebook, LinkedIn, and Palantir, Peter's career has been defined by his willingness to bet on disruptive ideas and entrepreneurs that others might have overlooked. However, Peter Thiel's journey didn't stop with his financial success. Over the years, he evolved into one of Silicon Valley's most influential figures. As a thought leader, he became known for his contrarian views on technology, capitalism, and the future. He's been vocal about his beliefs on government regulation, innovation, and the importance of technology in shaping society. But perhaps his most defining ideology is the concept of going from 0 to 1, creating something new and groundbreaking rather than simply improving on what already exists. This mindset was solidified in his book 0 to 1, Notes on Startups or How to Build the Future, published in 2014. The book became an instant bestseller and is now considered a must-read for anyone involved in the tech world. In 0 to 1, Peter shared his insights on what it takes to build a successful startup, arguing that the most successful companies don't just compete in existing markets but create entirely new ones. His advice was aimed not only at entrepreneurs but also at investors, offering a blueprint for identifying companies with the potential to revolutionize industries. Peter's philosophy is evident in his ongoing investments and his involvement in a wide range of ventures. Beyond his successful tech investments, he's taken stakes in companies focused on groundbreaking technologies such as artificial intelligence, biotechnology, and even space exploration. Through his venture capital firm, Founders Fund, Peter has supported some of the most promising startups in Silicon Valley, continuing to make waves in industries that are still in their infancy. One of the most intriguing aspects of Peter's career is his interest in long-term, world-changing technologies. While many investors are focused on short-term profits, Peter has made it clear that he is playing the long game. He's one of the driving forces behind the development of cryopreservation technology, which could one day allow people to be frozen and revived in the future. He's also a vocal proponent of space exploration, advocating for private companies to take the lead in expanding humanity's reach beyond Earth. Whether it's through ventures like SpaceX or investments in cutting-edge AI startups, Peter's belief in the transformative power of technology continues to shape his investment philosophy. But with all his success, Peter has also faced controversy, particularly for his outspoken political views. In 2016, he made headlines when he publicly supported Donald Trump's presidential campaign, a move that alienated many in the tech industry. Despite facing criticism, Peter remained steadfast in his belief that the political system needed to be disrupted, much like the industries he had revolutionized. Peter's personal life has also been the subject of interest. Known for his relatively private and reclusive nature, he has built a life that is both high-profile and highly guarded. His wealth, which has continued to grow with his strategic investments, has allowed him to pursue a variety of interests outside of business, including philanthropy, libertarian causes, and political involvement. One of the most significant parts of Peter's legacy is his influence on the next generation of entrepreneurs and investors. His success has become a blueprint for others in Silicon Valley, and his unique approach to investing has led many to follow in his footsteps. Entrepreneurs like Elon Musk, Mark Zuckerberg, and Reid Hoffman, who were all former PayPal employees, have gone on to build successful companies of their own, furthering Peter's impact on the tech ecosystem. The story of how a single stock, PayPal, made Peter Thiel a billionaire is a testament to his vision, intelligence, and ability to spot opportunities when others couldn't. But perhaps more importantly, it's a story of how a man with a bold idea and a willingness to take risks reshaped the very landscape of the tech industry. His investments and ventures have had far-reaching effects, and his influence is still felt today. Peter Thiel's legacy is one of innovation, disruption, and thought leadership. From his role as a co-founder of PayPal to his involvement in the creation of Palantir and his investments in companies like Facebook, Peter has demonstrated that with the right vision and execution, one can build an empire that not only creates wealth but also shapes the future. The story of Peter Thiel is far from over, and it will be fascinating to see how his investments and ideas continue to evolve in the years to come.